process of that karma being cleared out, this is when your consciousness begins to start expanding. This is when you're going to start getting communication from higher beings. You might get communication from gods. You might find out in your bloodline that you may have some ties to some different gods and different star systems, and they'll come and communicate, and they'll give you that information that you need so you continue to start growing and learning more about yourself and your full totality. What do I mean when I say full totality? The multiverse version of who you are. And depending on who you are, for some, and it may even be the omniverse version of who you are. Okay, so for example, you are Black Magic 363, right? You over here chilling, right? But then you're also like a king over in this star system. And then over here in Sirius, you might be something else in this star system. Okay, so that's what I mean when I say the totality of who you are. All right.
Indeed. What's you mentioned several times in the beginning, this great solar flash that's going to take place.
That is correct.
When is this going to happen, and what exactly is going to go down with this great solar flash?
When they're not telling me the when. What I'm being told is it's coming near. What's going to happen with the great solar flash is that this entire planet is going to burn. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. There's going to be individuals that will be able to have enough upgrades that'll be able to transform if they have the ability to surrender their heart and work out of their heart space. If you're operating in your divine masculine, which is up here, and you're not operating in your divine feminine, which is the heart space, you're not going to make that. You're not going to survive that. What I'm trying to get everybody to understand is that we're headed towards unity consciousness. We're headed in a state of operating out of love. You cannot go to the fifth dimension and go to the new planet Kai, okay, if you're not operating from the heart space. You can't come there with the same issues you got here. That's why you got to do the shadow work, to unpack them bags, and you got to heal. You got to start there. And then you got to start meditating so you can get on your mission and figure out what it is that you got to do. You're not in playtime anymore. And either people are going to do what they have to do to get to where they need to go, or they can play Russian roulette and see what happens with that. But as far as the great solar flash, what's going to happen is the planet is going to, once that solar flash hits and everything is completely wiped out with the exception of those who are supposed to be here, what's going to happen is that the planet's temperature is going to raise up to 999 degrees. And that's how it's going to be on this planet Kai from here on out. It's going to be just like that. Okay. So people will still have the ability to still work out their things while they're here. Some people have to stay here because they have soul contracts where they did bad contracts and past lives, and they have to remain earthbound. Those people are going to have to go through that process. Okay.
You mentioned I guess a symptom of the heat, the skin sparkling. What did you mean by that? Talk to me about that.
When you're out in the sun, I don't know how much sun people are getting right now. I spend a tremendous amount of time out in the sun. When you start spending time out in the sun, your body actually starts transforming. Ra at this time is giving a lot of people upgrades. Excuse me. At the same time, those who aren't supposed to be here, they're being fried up. Start paying attention to people when you start seeing them wearing hats on their head. Shades all the time. Big old hats over their heads so the sun don't touch them because they can't handle the frequency. It's not just the heat, but it's also the frequency of that sun because it's activating your DNA. And you're getting a lot of upgrades right now, a lot of DNA upgrades. Some of you guys might start hearing voices. That could be your ancestors. That could be your angelic courts. That could be your other cosmic family that could be communicating to you. And you'll know this based upon the message that you're receiving, if they're benevolent or not. Okay. Now, I teach my students how to set up their protections, you know, when they come through the program, how to properly set up their protections so they know who to communicate to and who not to communicate with. Okay. I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of this because we're kind of, because of the interview, I'm just giving you a brief synopsis of how this works. But that's what's happening. So everybody's getting upgrades right now. You're getting upgrades right now.
Indeed. Indeed. I feel it all the time. I feel it all the time.
I see it over you, but I can see it over you. And it's funny. I can see you.
Like when you say I can see, how do you see upgrade? Describe that vision, that sight. What do you see as far as upgrade?
For me, when I look at a person and I see an upgrade, I can tell by like the colors that's going on with that person, where those colors are located at, depending on what's going on with them. I can see, like, for people who, let's say, are just starting out, I can start seeing them transform in their other bodies. You got to remember, you have 4 bodies. You have the physical body, the celestial body, the ethereal body, and then the astral body. Okay. So when I'm looking at you, I'm not looking at your physical body. I'm looking at the other 3.
Powerful. Powerful. When I hear you, I hear a lot of Delbert Blair. I hear a lot of Delbert Blair.
That's my cosmic dad right there. He influenced me a great deal. He was like, I used to call him dad. Like, that's really our relationship. He was like a dad to me. You know what I'm saying? He mentored me a great many years. So yes, I give a lot of shout outs to Dr. Delbert Blair and Dr. Phil Valentine. That's also my other dad. So I love them both.
Yeah, shout out to Dr. Valentine and rest in power to Dr. Delbert Blair. Let me tell us a quick story that I never told nobody about Delbert Blair. That's the only individual when I interviewed him twice. When I got up close on him, he felt like a hologram. He didn't even feel like a human being. He felt like he wasn't fully here. Like, some people are really grounded on earth. Like, they're really physical. This dude felt like being around him, it was like he wasn't fully there. And I heard people say that before about Michael Jackson. Like, he was like light. Like, it was almost like he wasn't there. And I that's the only dude I ever been around where it almost felt like I was looking at a hologram, like the Tupac hologram on stage or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Delbert Blair was tapped in.
He's actually in the upper rounds. Is currently teaching. I've had the opportunity to speak to him, and he's actually teaching in the higher realms now. And I just smiled at him and I said, "Look at you." I said, "You just up here," and a lot of the beings in the cosmos know about him, but he's literally in the higher realms and he's teaching. So he's still teaching. But he's teaching other beings. That's the thing that tripped me out. I was like, so this is what we're doing now. I said, so you training folks in the galactic. You're training the ETs and stuff now. You're teaching the ETs about things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he really is doing that though. He's another ascended master. He's another ascended master.
Wow, amazing. So talk to me about, as far as here in America, we see all the craziness going on. Let's talk about, the melanated man and woman in America. Do we come from a particular constellation that's different from the rest of the world? Some people may think that, some people look at us here in America and they like, damn, why they catch so much hell over there? Why, it seems like, as far as we try to start a business, it gets sabotaged. Like the shootings that go on, it just seems like, and I know shit happen everywhere, but the world is watching us. The world imitates us. The world hates us and loves us at the same time. The world copies us, but at the same time disrespects us. So it's like a weird feeling being Black and living in this country. So is there anything that you could tell me that cosmically that we may not know of that'll wake us up in the Western Hemisphere?
The sun is currently waking you up right now in the Western Hemisphere. And I want to explain something to you guys right now. First of all, there's like 4 different suns that are currently present on planet Kai. There is a 5th one. Okay. There is a 5th one, but hasn't made itself known as of yet. But right now, the sun that America is seeing right now is Nemesis. This is the other side of Ra. Okay. Ra has made it very clear to me, because I do talk to him. He's made it very clear to me that Nemesis has been seen in different parts of the world, but he said that in the United States itself will receive the justice that it's supposed to receive. Everything that's happening in America right now is karmatic, because there hasn't been any justice. When it comes to us and who we are as a people, I want you to understand. I said something to you. I literally dropped the dime on you when I said that when I'm looking at your karmic cycles, you have different higher aspects. So imagine you being a main vessel, and let's say you have about 7 or 8 different aspects, and those aspects are connected to you. And those aspects are different types of beings. Some aspects can be gods, some aspects can be ETs, some aspects can be different things. But you have access to this wealth of knowledge, but you're not communicating to these higher aspects because you don't know about them. If you was to tap into those higher aspects and you start getting that information and you start doing those upgrades, what do you think is going to happen? Who's going to stop you if you are fully activated? That is what they don't want to happen for us, because they know if we come together on the collective level, it is game over for them, all the way across the board. All we have to do is understand that we are not separate from one another. We need to understand that we are a part of each other. There is no such thing as separation. You are source, and source is you. You are one and the same. You are not separate. You're no different than the guy who went out here and killed 50 people. You're the same being. Okay? You're the same being. And it's ego to think that you're separated from that. That's all ego. I'm explaining things to you guys on a whole different level, and some people may not be ready for this kind of information, but I'm going to bring the real to you as it's supposed to be brought. And for those of you that are listening right now, I know you guys are feeling the tingling sensations over your body right now because my words activate. Some of you guys are getting quivers in your body because you're hearing truth when you're hearing truth. Those quivers that you're feeling, those chills that you're feeling, I'm currently activating every single person on this live right now that's listening right now. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay? So I want you to understand that you have a power that lies within you that scares the shit out of them damn people. Until you realize who you really are and coming to the knowing, not belief. Belief means not to know in Hebrew. You don't believe nothing. You have to come into a space of knowing who you are. You have to come into a space of wanting to know who you are. You have to start getting on that journey to self-discovery. You have to. Once you start doing this and your consciousness starts expanding, you're going to start understanding what you've always had access to. After that, guess what? You don't need these systems out here because you'll have the ability to create your own systems. They don't want you to do that. They don't want you doing these things. They need you they need you to fight one another. They need you to tear each other down. They need you to be distracted with stuff that don't mean nothing. Okay. They need you to be fully distracted with.
What a show. You could write movies, Isis. Stuff you talk about, you could write.
Bro, let me tell you something. And sometimes I wonder if I should be talking about some of this stuff. But I think that right now, the time that we're in right now, this is the time to do it. There was a time 10 years ago, I would have never talked about things like this. But the times that we're in now with the great revealing, I feel very comfortable speaking about things like this because it's time now. And there's others out there like me that are starting to come out now, and they're starting to drop their science and speak their truth about their experiences and the things that's going on with them. And I hope to see more people doing it because this is the age that we're going into now. We're going into the age of energetic healing. We're going into the age of quantum physics. We're going into the age of quantum healing. We're going into the age of quantum intelligence. We're moving in a whole different direction. This is when the subconscious mind begins to start coming to the front. And the conscious mind begins to start going to the back.
Switching positions.
So the subconscious mind starts coming to the front. Can you imagine?
Wow. Whole different ball game out here.
It's a whole different ball game.
Wow. Let's I'm curious about this too, this last question. What is your opinion on the weird animal activity walking around in circles?
It's the things that's going on with the planet. Those are the signs. Those are the signs. Now, of course, you would have a scientist break it down. Well, this and this and this is what's going on. Okay, I'm not doing that with y'all. I'm just letting you know, you see the signs for what they are, recognize those signs for what they are. When have you ever seen some shit like that happen before? On that level where you got a lot of animals that are doing this. You know what it reminded me of when I saw that? You know, over in Mecca, there's a cube that's there. We call it the cube of Saturn. And every year they do this thing where a bunch of people start walking around this cube. Have you seen that?
I heard about it.
It reminds me of that. When I saw that, it really reminded me of that. And I was looking at that and I was like, some portals were open up. Some energetic portals were open up. I think that people better get ready for the new ride. Haven't you noticed how different this place is? It ain't the same. Your consciousness ain't even the same. You don't even see things the same way no more. Would you say that things are different?
Oh, totally different. Yeah, totally different.
Remember how it was in the earlier years compared to how it is now? It's all the way different. And now they're trying to bring in the dystopian society. That's a distraction. Now they're coming up with all these weird laws. That's a distraction. I need you guys to understand, don't get caught up in any type of negative distractions that you see going on. Stay steadfast on the goal. Keep your head on a swivel. Stay steadfast on what it is that you need to do. Don't get caught up in those distractions, because the moment you do that, you create a new reality for yourself. See, right now, the time that we're living in, what you think is what's going to manifest at the blink of an eye. So be careful of your thoughts. Get into creation and create your own reality and create your own world. This is the time to do it.
Indeed. With that being said, Isis, please leave your information one more time for the people that are interested in contacting you and your services.
ShopIsisWisdom.com. You can send me a message through the contact us section of the website, and I'll respond to you there, or my admin will respond to you. You can also go to, and I actually got a new website that's actually going to be launching soon, which will be announced on the website, because all these services and programs are now expanding now. So I got to kind of shift out to a bigger site. But you can reach me at Telegram, which is probably your best bet. If you're trying to reach me, go to Telegram. It is t.me, I am the realest, / I am the realest to ever do it. Make sure you have the Telegram Messenger. It is a channel. It is not a group. It is not an individual name or account. It is a channel. I got almost 18,000 subscribers on that channel. It's a community. Okay? That's how you know it's me. So find me on that channel, just look for Isis Wisdom, and you can send me a message that way, and you can contact me there. On Instagram, it's I am the realest to ever do it. Already spelled it out. Okay? And YouTube, Isis Wisdom.
Indeed, yeah, a YouTube channel. That's where I usually catch up with your information, and she has some powerful videos. So I definitely advise y'all to take a look at her YouTube whenever you get a chance. But I mean, this was an extremely powerful interview. Like I said, the stuff you talk about, I'm like, this shit got to be in a movie. I mean, you start talking about the Suns and Nemesis and this and that. I'm like, yo, I ain't never heard that before. Some of the stuff you talk about.
I think for people, it's more so like the comfortability that I feel in speaking about these things, and how sure I am when I speak about these things. But the thing is that the things I speak on, all people got to do is do their own work and start going.
Wisdom. Welcome back, Isis.
Hey, how you doing, brother? It's been a minute.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Good to see you back on here. I mean, yo, since you got back on the live, you just been smiling. You must be in a real good vibration, Isis. You've been smiling nonstop. That's beautiful, though. That's great. In this day and age, to see somebody with just that level of joy expressed on their face. What's up with you? How you been?
I've been doing well. I've been doing a lot of healing. I've been doing a lot of traveling, a lot of working on myself. I've also been doing a lot of work for the planet as well. But I'm really in a space of my life now of just receiving. So yeah, things are definitely changing and elevating more, coming into higher understandings about things and just growing exponentially. So
let me ask you this, Isis. Have you noticed a difference energetically between this year and last year for
you? Definitely.
What would you say it's been?
Well, let me just say this one thing. You know, I'm in Mexico.
Yes.
So, you know, the energy is totally different here than it is inside the United States. What I'll tell you is, it's just from my own personal experience of just elevation and growth. The environments are looking different to me now. This has put me in higher timelines. So there's a lot of things that I'm not experiencing, but at the same time, I'm still sensitive to energy. So there's also some dark, heavy energy that's over the United States that's very heavy. And I did get some hits on what's going on with that, which I'll be talking about that in my 2023 predictions part 2. But there's also an energy of healing that's also coming over the planet. And I don't know if you've been feeling that or picking up on that energy. There's a time for us to start healing. So that's what we're doing. So, yeah.
And this is your son right here, right?
Yeah, this is Esoteric Truth.
Greetings.
Peace. How you doing, brother? So he's joining you for the show tonight.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Esoteric, I heard you was tapped in.
Yeah, very tapped in.
Excellent. So listen, Isis, so I was inspired. I seen this post you put up on Instagram. Let me share it. And I was it's not ice. Well, what can you explain that?
It's a technology that's utilized to separate the realms. And also you're going to see that also when you're trying to enter into inner Earth, the monatomic glass is there as well. So I don't know if you ever heard or seen pictures of like pieces of the firmament when it would fall to the ground. I don't know. There's videos out of that where people are picking it up and it looks blue and people just kind of looking at it. But it's what I was told was a download that I got was that it was monatomic glass. And I was like, wow. So the glass actually separates, and that's what's actually being utilized as quote unquote the firmament to keep things locked in. Now, there's one thing I do want to express is that there are beings that run security on this firmament. So they have the ability to actually lift up parts of the firmament to allow different beings to come in. That's not talked about. Okay. Currently right now we have an actual crack in our firmament right now. And there's a portal there. And there's different beings that are starting to come into the planet right now that actually shouldn't be here. So yeah.
Where's this crack at? Where's this at?
I don't know exactly where it is, but it's here. It's been here. It's a hit that I got on the download that I received, but I don't know exactly where the actual crack is. That's just what I'm told. There's a crack. There's a portal that's open, and there's different beings that are coming in. So, like for instance, those beings that are coming in that people reported out there in Las Vegas, a lot of people would know whether or not that was real or not. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now, those beings are very real, and people are saying, oh, well, this is the thing that they're preparing for Project Blue Beam, et cetera, et cetera. What I want to say to you guys is that this happening is something that even caught the government off guard. They wasn't even ready for that. There's definitely some things that are on this planet. There is something here that should not be here. So, and I'm going to talk about that as well in my 2023 predictions part 2. I'm going to let people know about that more. Yeah, there's a lot of beings coming into this planet, which is one of the main reasons why they had the firmament placed in the first place, is because when the reptilians and the Anunnaki and all these different, not all Anunnaki, let me just say this, because not all beings are malevolent, okay? Not even all reptilians are malevolent. That's something I had to learn, okay? But some beings have a darker energy to them, okay? But whenever they started coming in, they started doing a lot of experiments. Then they had to put the firmament over top. Yeah, right. They were locked in because of that.
Right. Wow. So what do you mean by there's no such thing as planet Earth? Because the Earth is round, the world is flat. You just like there ain't no planet Earth. What that?
Well, let me just break it down for you. What most people don't know is that Earth, it's quote unquote Earth, or the realm itself, is a whole multiverse. Okay, we were never told this. So when you talk about there's 9